Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever hopped on a train and thought, how they even build this thing?
Right.
Well, today we're diving deep into the world of a rolling stock assembler.
We're going way beyond just, reading a basic job description.
Exactly. We're on a mission to uncover those aha
Wow.
moments, those things that help you decide, is this the right fit for me? And if so, how do I totally crush it?
I love that.
So RoleCatcher, our trusty career guide, tells us rolling stock assemblers are the ones, quite literally, putting in the work to build the trains, trams, rail systems, you name it.
The backbone of transportation.
Exactly. We're talking hand tools, power tools, robotics, all to fit these massive prefabricated parts together. It's like a high-stakes jigsaw puzzle.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
Right, but instead of a pretty picture, you're creating the backbone of transportation.
And just like a jigsaw puzzle, you need precision. It's not just bolting metal together. We're talking about ensuring the safety, the smooth operation of vehicles that carry hundreds, thousands of passengers every day.
It's a huge responsibility.
It is.
And speaking of responsibility, let's talk about the work environment. RoleCatcher paints a picture of a bustling factory setting. Noise, probably some dust,
Oh, yeah.
and work that's definitely physically demanding. This isn't a desk job.
No, absolutely not. This is a career for someone who thrives on hands-on work, doesn't shy away from a bit of physical exertion.
Definitely. But it's also an industry that's changing.
Oh, absolutely.
Automation, robotics, it's
Yeah.
revolutionizing manufacturing.
And this field is no exception.
So being tech savvy is becoming more and more important.
100%, yeah.
But here's some good news from RoleCatcher. Even with these advancements, the job outlook for skilled rolling stock assemblers is incredibly positive.
It's a good time to be
It's a great
in
time.
the industry, yeah.
The demand is growing, and those who can work with both traditional tools and cutting-edge tech, highly sought after.
Right. This is where adaptability comes in, that thirst for knowledge. If you enjoy picking up new skills, constantly learning, staying ahead of the curve, this could be the perfect environment for you.
Okay, so you're not just building trains, you're building a future-proof skill set.
Exactly.
Now let's talk pros and cons. RoleCatcher gives us the rundown, and honestly, some really got me thinking. On the plus side, stable employment, good pay, a chance to work with those cool technologies we talked about.
For sure.
But it can be demanding, physically, and sometimes the tasks might feel repetitive. And then there's the exposure to noise, possibly fumes, and the inherent risks that come with any manufacturing environment.
Yeah, and that's why, self-awareness is so crucial. Does that security, the earning potential outweigh the physical demands, the potential for repetition? It all boils down to understanding your own personality, your strengths, and what truly motivates you.
It's all about finding that perfect fit, right? So let's say this is sounding good to you. You're thinking, okay, how do I climb that career ladder? Well, RoleCatcher outlines three main stages: entry level, junior assembler, and senior assembler.
Makes sense. Yeah.
What I find fascinating is how the responsibilities evolve with your experience.
Yeah, for sure.
At the entry level, you might be assisting with installations, operating basic tools under supervision, learning the ropes from experienced colleagues.
Right, you're getting your foot in the door.
Exactly. But as a junior assembler, you start taking on more independence. You're constructing, troubleshooting issues, maybe even mentoring newcomers. It's a clear progression from following to leading.
Taking on more responsibility.
I love seeing that kind of growth. And then, reaching that coveted senior assembler role, you're not just assembling anymore. You're leading teams, interpreting complex blueprints, maybe even optimizing those assembly processes.
Wow.
It highlights how valuable experience and that willingness to take on more becomes in this field.
Right, you become really invaluable. That's
Exactly.
great.
And speaking of valuable, let's talk about standing out from the crowd. RoleCatcher suggests certifications, especially early on. They specifically mention a basic assembler certification.
Okay.
Think of it as your entrance ticket to the field, a way to demonstrate a baseline competency and show your commitment to the craft.
Right, it shows you're serious. It's like learning the alphabet, it's a starting point. But to really shine, you need to start forming words, sentences, then entire stories.
I love that.
So, maybe explore specialized welding courses or delve into like the intricacies of electrical systems. It's that hunger for deeper knowledge that sets you apart.
It's like you're not just building a train, you're building your expertise, brick by brick.
There you go.
Now, RoleCatcher also stresses understanding like different types of rolling stock and their components.
Right.
And I imagine that's more than just telling a passenger car from a freight car at a glance.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's about diving deep into the mechanics, those electrical systems, safety features, all the intricate details that make these massive vehicles tick. Imagine understanding the delicate dance of a train's braking system. How pneumatic and hydraulic components work together to ensure a safe stop, even at high speeds.
Whoa.
That's the level of technical understanding we're talking about, building towards.
So it's like you need to know the why behind each part, not just the what.
Exactly. And that's where a solid understanding of mechanical and engineering principles, that's where that becomes invaluable. But don't worry, it's not about becoming an engineer overnight.
Right.
It's about that constant curiosity, that desire to know how things work and how they all fit together.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of fitting together, RoleCatcher also mentions the importance of staying connected within the field.
Oh, for sure.
They suggest industry publications, conferences, online forums, even just chatting with seasoned professionals.
Yeah, networking is so important.
It's like anything else. The more you surround yourself with the knowledge and the people who live and breathe this world, the faster you'll learn and grow.
And you're going to learn so much faster.
Oh, yeah?
From people who have the experience.
Those firsthand insights are priceless. Now, I'm curious about something. RoleCatcher provided this huge list of organizations related to rolling stock assembly and manufacturing. We've got the International Association of Railway Operating Officers, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, groups for equipment distributors, railway engineering, even automotive service excellence. It seems like a really diverse landscape.
It is a very diverse landscape. It's really cool. You've got the operators, the manufacturers, the maintenance crews, even the folks who keep those train cars sparkling clean.
Right.
All working in concert to keep those trains running smoothly. It's like a well-oiled machine, no pun intended.
Okay, that pun was pretty great, I have to admit.
Eh.
But you bring up a good point about those different players. It reminds me, unions are a big part of industries like this too, right?
Ouch.
Advocating for workers' rights, making sure things are fair.
Absolutely. Unions are a huge part of this industry. Understanding the role of unions, their history, their impact, it's essential for anyone serious about a career in this field.
So we've talked tasks, work environment, skills, even that broader industry picture. But let's get real for a second. Why choose this career path? What makes it truly rewarding?
At the end of the day, for some, it's the deep satisfaction of working with their hands, taking raw materials and shaping them into something tangible, impressive. Imagine that feeling of seeing a finished train roll off the assembly line, knowing you played a part in making it happen. That's a sense of accomplishment that's hard to beat.
It's like you've left your mark on the world, literally.
Exactly. And for others, it's that problem-solving element, the challenge of troubleshooting, getting those mental gears turning to find creative solutions. Every day brings new puzzles, and that can be incredibly engaging for those with a knack for critical thinking and a love for, figuring things out.
It's like you're getting paid to exercise your brain and your hands.
There you go.
And let's not forget, these are skilled trades we're talking about.
Right.
You're developing expertise that's in high demand, which often translates into a sense of job security and career satisfaction that's honestly harder to find in other fields.
That's true. And that expertise, it can take you places. We talked about advancement within a company, but think about it. These skills could open doors to opportunities in related industries, automotive manufacturing, aerospace engineering. Possibilities are pretty exciting.
It's like you're not just building a career, you're building a launch pad for all sorts of opportunity.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established that a career as a rolling stock assembler has the potential to be both fulfilling and lucrative. But let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about those interview questions.
Okay, yeah.
RoleCatcher provides a treasure trove of potential questions, and some of them honestly would make me sweat a little.
Oh, yeah. They're tough. They're designed to test your knowledge, but more importantly, to see how you think, how you approach challenges. Remember, it's not about reciting memorized answers. It's about demonstrating your thought process, your ability to break down complex situations.
Show them you can think on your feet.
Exactly.
One that stood out to me was, how do you prioritize your workload when assembling rolling stock? Seems simple enough, but I bet there's a lot to unpack there.
Oh, there is. It speaks to your organizational skills, your ability to manage your time effectively, and your understanding of the importance of deadlines in a manufacturing environment. It's about seeing the bigger picture, how your piece of the puzzle contributes to the entire production schedule.
Right. It's about understanding that a train can't leave the station without all of its parts.
Exactly. And it also highlights your awareness of safety protocols, quality control measures. After all, we're talking about building something that has to function flawlessly day in and day out.
Absolutely. Another question that caught my eye was, can you describe a time when you had to work on a complex assembly project? Now, this one feels tailor-made for those with some experience under their belt.
Right. It's a classic behavioral interview question designed to give you a chance to showcase your problem-solving skills, your ability to work collaboratively, and your meticulous attention to detail.
Right. It's not enough to just say, I'm a great problem solver. You need to back it up with a concrete example that truly demonstrates those skills in action.
100%. And choose an example that's relevant to the role of a rolling stock assembler. Talk about a time you had to troubleshoot a complex mechanical issue or worked as part of a team to assemble a particularly challenging component. Let the interviewer really picture you in action.
Make it specific, make it relevant, and most importantly, make it about you and your unique experiences. Now, we've covered some challenging interview questions, but let's take a step back and revisit the bigger picture again. RoleCatcher emphasizes the transferable skills gained in this role, and I think that's worth repeating.
Yeah, for sure.
The skills you hone as a rolling stock assembler, that problem-solving mindset, attention to detail, mechanical aptitude, teamwork, these are valuable across a huge range of industries.
Oh, yeah, they really are. They translate to so many different things.
So even if down the line you decide this specific career path isn't for you, you're not starting from scratch. You've got this
Yeah.
incredible foundation to build upon.
Exactly. You could transition into roles in manufacturing, maintenance, engineering, even project management.
Yeah.
The possibilities really are endless. It's like you're gaining a Swiss Army knife of skills.
Love that analogy.
Oh.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've talked about the day-to-day realities of being a rolling stock assembler, the skills needed to thrive, those potential career paths, and how to ace those crucial interviews. But before we shift gears to part 3, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on, that looming presence of automation in the manufacturing industry that RoleCatcher keeps mentioning.
Right.
And it's a trend that's only going to accelerate in the coming years.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Now, some might see this as a threat to jobs, but what if we flip the script?
Okay.
What if, instead of fearing automation, we embrace it? See it as an opportunity to upskill, learn these new technologies, position ourselves at the forefront of this exciting new era in manufacturing.
Right. I think, that's the way to look at it. It's understandable to be hesitant, to have some hesitation about it, but I want to encourage you to see this as an incredible opportunity. The future of manufacturing is intertwined with these advancements. So it's not going anywhere.
It's like that saying, if you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly. Instead of just assembling parts, imagine programming the robots that do the assembling.
Whoa.
Talk about, next level skills.
It's like becoming the conductor of an orchestra of robots.
That's a fantastic way to put it. That's really cool. And it's a great example of how, embracing these technologies can open up a whole new world of specialized skills and career paths.
It's about future-proofing your career, right?
Yeah.
Because the skills that are in demand today might not be the same ones in 5 or 10 years.
Exactly. You got to stay ahead of the curve. It's about being adaptable, a lifelong learner, and staying curious about the possibilities that technology brings to the table.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of becoming a rolling stock assembler. We've covered the day-to-day, the long-term prospects, those make-or-break skills, the power of networking, and even how to harness those high-tech robots to your advantage.
So much good stuff.
I know, right? It's been quite the ride. So to our listeners, keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, those trains aren't going to build themselves. Until next time.